Hello, everyone. One more time. All good things come in threes. Obviously, today that is so. Anywho, one more thing. And again, ah, if I could count it all up, if I could, I can't because I never kept track of all the donations I made everywhere, this and that. For good causes and I don't know what and da 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 da. Well, think I could afford to go and make a trip around the world? Yeah, not in a luxurious style, but a style nonetheless. Probably one that would suit me far better anyway. I which brings one thing to mind. And the way that I traveled, and I started that very early, and I was 14 when I went on my own on a moped for the first time with a friend. Saved up my money. I wasn't big into clothes, this, that. I wasn't into makeup. I just wasn't. I saved my money that I made. 14. I was already in the workforce. And I traveled for the first time with a friend to Italy, to Lake Lago Maggiore. Lago Maggiore in Italy. First time left Switzerland. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's not true. Okay, all right. I got to take that back. An aunt of mine who was German, married to my uncle on my father's side, half brother of my father's. She had taken me a couple of times to Germany to visit her family. Yeah, but I was a child. So the first time, going all by myself, 14, on a moped, putter, up the Gotthard Pass. Couldn't go through the tunnel, right? Not with a moped. You'd probably kill yourself. But up and up, Lago Maggiore for 2 weeks. Oh, it's great. And then after that instilled my desire to visit other countries, other people, different languages. And in Europe, you don't have to go far until you're going, all right, didn't learn that in school. Do speak 4 different languages, but didn't learn, or 3 different ones at the time, but didn't learn that one. And I remember always on the mode of transportation, where I would end up, was always, I would get in contact with the actual people, the common people in these countries. And really got to know also the different foods, right? The food of the country, the always welcoming in a way. Well, you're a tourist still, regardless, but always we found people just happy to also get to know people from another place in the world, and always had a really amazing time. Yes. Oh, all right. So what did I get into here now? It was the same when we came to the United States as well. Yes. Yet I know others who like to go and just enjoy the luxury, whatever, in another country. And okay, that's whatever suits the people, or what their interests are. Yes. So I could, with all the donations I've made here and there and everywhere, it's come to my notice that lately you get a lot of phone calls for donations, which is so ironic, because I think, I guess people still have a little something to give. And people really do. Eh? The sad thing about that is, to me, that how people out there are taking advantage of that. I just got a phone call from a organization that takes care of I'm going to try not to kind of mention exactly because I don't want to discredit the organization entirely, because there's still something good that is coming out of it yet, that are helping children to fix something that is somewhat a problem yet. When I got the call and I'm listening, and then said, "Do you have a website I can go and check that out? Before I make a decision to give anything." And I got one, and I went and looked it up, and then I got a little bit more. Then I wanted to see and approve of. One was, it's a non-profit organization of which the CEO makes more than $350,000 a year. Okay. The overhead of that organization is 57 point something percent of all the donations that they're getting. Yet it is absolutely based on volunteer. Okay. Administrative expenses, right? Yeah. Which runs roughly $1.5 million a year. I do math very, very quick in my mind has one of those math heads where I'm going, whoa, that's a lot of money considering what the organization actually is. And if I consider that maybe the all around cost for one of those surgeries for one of those children, I'm going to be very, very, very generous, triple generous, $30,000, which would come out to, considering that they're doing about 12,000 of these surgeries. Now you guys do the math. How much is that? Yeah. And how much is the overhead, which is 57 point something percent. So there should be 42 point something percent. And how does 300 and about 60, 12 to $360,000 compute with that? Oh. So no, I'm not going to donate anything to that organization. Mainly because, again, how can you just how do you well, one can't disregard that regardless 12,000 children got what they needed, even though, but here's the thing, how come what's from the phone conversation I just had, there are so many more children around the world that need a very simple procedure. I would say here in the United States, it would be considered an outpatient, even for a child, surgery. It isn't something where they have to cut into your body. It is a facial reconstruction that shouldn't take all that long to snap. And how come with the money where is that money? The millions of dollars, where's that? And the CEO gets how much? And you're what? A non-profit? And if you're a volunteer, I've never volunteered anywhere where I walked out of the building with a check in my hand. Okay. So, how many children is this organization leaving in the dust? So, whoever is doing this is actually profiting just for themselves. Yeah. Now, you want me to? So what? In order for then you, if I don't donate anything, right, which also would be, well, one has to look at it at least. There is a fraction of every dollar that I donate, a fraction, a very small fraction actually. I said it's all there. I went and studied up on it. It's still better than nothing for these children, and yet, should you not be taught a lesson? Wow, how sad to profit of the malformation of a child. Very disappointing to me. And I've no doubt a lot of other things, as I said, that I'm getting phone calls for about donating here and there, and I don't know what. It's exactly the same. So, once again, I think I'd rather go see what could I donate there, which is probably the least of most people that are giving out there, because that's what I can afford. But I'm going to start my own little fund here. And then when I come across a child like that, I'm going to go to the parents and say, here, this is what I can afford to give you. You use it to help your child. I think I'm going to do that rather than, yeah, well, I'm just saying. Sounds so good. You're doing this all over the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yet, really, what are you actually doing? Well, anyway, I had my say. Had to put that out there. So here's another thing too. Again, how to stop that? You stop giving. You stop giving where you're being used, and where children are being used, because maybe then they'll make a change. Either the organization will disappear because already, or they are going to get better. They are going to do with the money that you give what they actually promise to do. Okay? Yeah? Okay. I know. Yeah? So save your money and look around in your own community and see who really, the parents who really, with a sick child, need a little bit of help with that. I'm just saying. I want every child to be all right out there. But if money is misused like that, so much of it, and again, is it even true? If they're lying about that, if they're, as I say, tell me you're a profit making machine for your own CEO and your employees and whatever else, and then you help out a little bit just to kind of have that as your umbrella over what you're actually doing. At least be honest about it. Then the people know what they're giving to. Oh, you can't do that because then you're not making the money anymore. Yet I'm supposed to feel bad when I take a stance and say, these children will be all right with whatever they're going through right now. Maybe, hopefully, there will be an organization out there, or every government around the world will say, this is an easy fix. We should have a little fund for that, for the parents whose children have that, and get that taken care of. In and out, it's not a whole big difficult uh, little procedure for a child with that. Maybe by now you guys figured out what that is. And I think that would be a much better thing anyway. So there it is. Right? One more organization out of the picture who's just using you as their sucker. Right? I know. Daniela. Wow. I just. Yeah. There. Ignorance is bliss. Right? Knowledge, suddenly you have to take some responsibility. Oh, that's what I'm doing. Right? Yes? Yeah. That's it. Every government should have a fund where parents can draw from a simple surgery that every country has surgeons who can perform that. And done. And the child, I'm sure, will become a good citizen to that country, right? Knowing the leaders in this country help me with that. Just saying. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all I wanted to share. God's love and blessings and protection for you at all times. Beware where you donate. There's nothing wrong with saying, you have a website that I can go and check out? No. Get the website, so I'm going to go and check that out. And if I approve of what you're doing, you'll hear from me again. These guys, they can call me again. Then I'm going to give them the rundown of what I just learned. But I will not support them. God's love and blessings always. Talk to you another time.